Hello, everybody. Welcome to FanView. Welcome to another episode where let's talk about football, talk about Champions League. The world of football has been going mad again because of Anthony's fidget spinning yesterday. Differences happening. Man City joined to Dortmund. Man City, well, going to the Premier League. So we have a lot to talk about today. I'm here with GB. GB, forever present. How are you?
Hi everyone, it's good to be here. Forever present, yes, it's because it's exciting and lovely to talk about football. So yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about I'll go talk about the Champions League first. There were some shocking results. Some big clubs fell into the Europa League, which is making the Europa League look more interesting than the Champions League right now. And as a my fan, here to say I'm excited to be part of that competition. I'm excited to be part of that competition, but hopefully next year we'll be in the Champions League. Where do we start from? What game do we start from? Let's start from Man City first. Man City Dortmund. Okay, what's up? It was 0-0. What happened?
Yeah, it's one of those matches where we've qualified already, and winning or drawing wasn't going to like make much of a difference. And we could have won. We could have won. We could have won. I don't know. Mares has had two penalty misses in the last two Champions League games that could have given us victories. So Mares is in terrible form right now. And yeah, we were playing Dortmund at home, and it was not going to be easy. Funny, like it's not going to be easy because they have this very massive crowds in their stadium. I think everybody knows how massive Dortmund Stadium is, especially if they're playing at home in the Champions League. So
Yeah.
it's one of those results, and yeah, we've not been playing so well away. Like we've played about eight matches away this season, and we've won just three. So I don't know. I really don't want to say like there is much significance into it. I really don't want to assume, but I think three out of eight is it's not so it's not something to be proud of personally.
Okay. We're going to talk about Elana, so maybe we were talking about the Premier League games and everything. But then, what do you think Dortmund really defended well? Was the tactics right on the night?
Yes. Dortmund defended well. Yes, they did. They did. I think we actually tried to force the issue. We tried to and they were good on the breaks. They could have even scored. I think Mukoko had a chance that he lost from a square pass from Adeyemi, and he could have scored. Like it was like literally one of those balls that Alan scores, and all of us are like, tapping, one of those balls, and he didn't get to score it. So Dortmund defended well and they played well on the counter, especially in the first half. In the second half, they were less of a threat, and um, I think we could have, if we had scored the penalty, we would probably be having a different conversation right now. But yeah, you really have to give credit to the opposition. Like they defended well, and the 0-0 result was perfect for them because going into now they just have to hope. I don't think their fate hinges on Sevilla anymore. I think now they're qualified. I'm not particularly sure about that, but it put Dortmund in a better position to be qualified than they were before the match. I don't know how close Dortmund is to qualification at the present moment, but I think they're pretty close.
Yeah, they just need one win right now to qualify.
So how many points are Dortmund on? Sevilla on.
Five. Dortmund on eight.
Okay, by goal difference.
I don't think it's good difference. Head to head.
Is he here to head in the Champions League? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
head to head Champions League too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so they're in a better place than the way before the match. And
Yeah.
now they really have to just beat Copenhagen. I don't think that should be I don't think that should be like the hardest task in comparison to Sevilla playing against City.
Yeah. Mokoko, how good do you think he is? Let's speak about Mokoko.
To be honest, I've just read like few stuffs about him. I've not followed the Bundesliga this season quite closely. I've only been following Union Berlin at times and that. But I think it is there's something about Dortmund is the fact that we expect like there is always like every season there's always like this young talent that pops out in a way or the other. I think one time there was Sancho, and then there was Holland, and then there was Giovanni Renner, which
Mm-hmm.
is bit injury prone recent. Now we have Bellingham and then we have Mukoko. So there are always this club that gives this very good foundation for young players to emerge. And I'm looking at the stats now. He has played 10 matches in the league. He has 4 goals and 2 assists. So that's pretty decent. And he's still 17 years. So that's really, really decent. I think good perhaps. So yeah, it's a team where young talents are able to strive. So yeah, I think it's been pretty good. And yeah, I think if you play in Dortmund and you know what you're doing, you should probably have something to say for yourself.
Yeah, it's also Alan that missed the penalty here.
No, Alan was
I did
off.
watch.
Alan was off the pitch already. As at the time that we had the penalty. And,
yeah, who missed it?
Mahrez. I said Mahrez missed it.
I think I heard the clip of a journalist asking Pep if he's worried about, apart from Haaland, the other Man City players keep missing penalties and everything. He's worried about it. As a Man City fan, are you worried about it?
Yes, I am. Pep personally even said he is.
Yeah.
Because considering the fact that we've lost about 25 penalties out of 50 since like I think since Pep has been at the club, that's I don't know. That's quite not good. And considering the fact that the penalty misses actually come at periods where they are like very important. So looking back over the years, there is this penalty Aguero missed in the first leg of Tottenham that we lost in the second leg. We lost on away goals to Tottenham in the second leg. There is this one that Mahrez missed in Anfield, like
against Liverpool. Yeah.
Yes, there was this one that Kevin De Bruyne missed at Anfield, but we later got to. Did we win the match? I'm not sure. There's one that Gundogan lost at against Liverpool too, but we later got to win the match 4-1.
Yeah.
So there is one that Aguero lost against Mendy. They tried to do a Panenka and he failed woefully. And then Mahrez has lost 2 that could have probably given us 3 points each against Copenhagen and Dortmund. So when you consider the penalty misses and then the situations and then the scenarios in which these misses are coming up, you really have to like there is something to be worried about. There's one that Rodri scored for us, and it was a very, very bad one. When they asked Pep, it was like, can we talk about how like the quality of the penalty, So I don't think we have so many good takers in the team aside Haaland right now. Maybe Ederson, but you can never say unless you see. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm prophesying it's FA Cup final, United versus City goes to penalty and United misses everything.
No.
And City misses everything. Sorry.
The last time we played a penalty shootout was that against Liverpool? Was it against Liverpool? I think we played a penalty shootout once against. Was it Chelsea and we won? I think that was the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, with the penalty shootout, odds are different. There are so many stuffs like more like related to the shootouts in comparison to the game. Like in comparison to taking a penalty right in the middle of the game. But I don't think we are the best at that terms of penalties. Definitely not.
Okay, so we're going to right time to move to City, but before right time to move to Chelsea. But before I move to Chelsea, Jesse, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving to Chelsea versus Salzburg now. How was the match? How do you think Chelsea performed?
I'll say that this is the best Chelsea performance I've seen this season, to be honest.
After the Milan game.
What?
So that was to say after the Milan game. Shake it.
Okay, no, yeah, but it changes now. Your best game changes.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, this was the best performance I've seen from Chelsea. Attacking-wise, everybody was at it against Salzburg. And, they're a team that have not lost. I think it was about 40 games or so. They haven't lost at home. They had an unbeaten run at home. So it was going to be difficult, even though people might not see Salzburg as that type of team. And they actually brought the game to Chelsea during that match. So it was a very nice performance. I liked the way we attacked. And even defensively, we looked solid. Except from that one mistake that led to the goal.
Yeah, coming from Emmanuel said, nice to see you guys back live. Thank you, Emmanuel, for always watching. You're one of our Constance Vera, and I promise we're going to give some packages very soon. Some packages are coming on very soon. GB, um, Jesse just said that was the best performance. That was the best performance in for this season and everything. And given that it's Salzburg, some people might say no, some people might say, well, did you watch the match and how do you think they played really? Was it the best?
I didn't see the match, to be honest. I actually didn't see the match, but I think that, yeah, judging by the highlights and like a breakdown of like reading about like what happened after during the match and all of that, I think it was very good. I think I saw a particular clip that I think a particular scenario during the match where Chelsea really played out from the back and like it was like they tore apart Salzburg's pressing with quick 1-2 passes. I think
if not that Aubameyang could not finish. I
Aubameyang
don't
wasn't
know.
able to convert the. I think that was very, very exciting. Like to see like the combination of one-touch passes and then creating space and to your striker. Maybe Aubameyang was not. I was like, oh, really? This ball actually got there so quickly. They couldn't finish. Well, yeah, I think it's definitely one of their best performances. Definitely one of our best performances. And Havertz scored a really, really good goal. A really, really good goal. So yeah, I think every Chelsea fan has the right to probably claim it as one of their best performances. Yeah, I think it was really good.
Jesse, Potter just came this season, and before he came, I think Chelsea were last in the group and everything, but now they're like topping the group and stuff like that. How impressed have you been with Potter? And you're playing Dynamo Zagreb next in Champions League. Are you confident of topping the group, finishing top of the group?
I would say that yes, Graham Potter has done a nice job in improving the way we play. But I mean, it was only after one game that we're bottom of the group. So we don't know how it would have been if Tuchel had stayed as well. He could have easily won the group, and he knows how to get out of this type of situation. So, well, I'll say that Potter has really tried this season, and for the game on next week, I think that it will be a very convenient game for Chelsea. Chelsea will be able to, grind out the results, and I do feel that we'll finish top of the group.
Okay. So let's move to another English club, which is Liverpool. Liverpool trashing Ajax 3-0 away from home. GB, how impressed were you with Liverpool on the day? And why do you think they do well in the Champions League and do bad in the Premier League?
I think I've said it before. I think when it comes to the Champions League, like I feel like there is a little bit more space for bigger teams to attack because for the mere fact that some of these smaller place teams find themselves in the Champions League, they really want to some of them like there is actually like I feel like there's actually no need for you to like sit back and you want to soak up pressure and all of that because it's a group game, right? It's you have to win or you get disqualified. It's not like you have like 30 something matches to play and then you can accumulate points and then see how many points you can win and how many points you can lose. So, like when Liverpool play in the league against some teams that are ready to like concede possession to Liverpool, then sit deep and then defend and defend and defend, and then if they get a chance on the break, they take it and then 1-0. Like teams playing in the Champions League feel like there is a sense of pride that comes with it. Like you cannot expect because Ajax naturally even Rangers, like they're not going to want to like sit back at their house and be like, okay, we'll just allow you to come on us and then we'll give you possession and then defend with all our lives and then probably see if we can catch a chance on the break. So like when Liverpool play against teams like this, there is more space for them to play. There is more opportunities for them to score. Liverpool is a team that like maximizes space like effectively. And then this season, I think they've really struggled, especially when the opponent is sitting deep and they can't create as many chances as possible, or sometimes even lose chances that are expected to score. So I think these are some of the reasons why Liverpool tend to perform really well in the Champions League. And another reason I would say is there is a very, very big difference between the league form most times and then Champions League form. You can find a team performing well in the league and then they're absolutely tearing it up in the Champions League. I think that's something that we've gotten used to seeing from Real Madrid before, like the last few seasons, where probably Barca will be winning the league and then Real Madrid will be tearing in the Champions League. So especially during that three-peat, I think the first two Champions League that they collected under Zidane, before Zidane now became more accustomed to winning the league subsequently. So yeah, there's usually a difference between the league form and the Champions League form, and then the way teams set up to play, probably there is more space for you to like play into and then create chances and then score. So yeah, I think these are some of the two biggest reasons to me.
Okay, Jesse, given that GB has said what he said about Liverpool, always thriving when they have space. They are facing Napoli next. For them to top the group, they have to beat Napoli more than 3 goals difference. Do you think it's possible for them to do it at Anfield?
I think that Ajax are definitely not on the level of Liverpool. So, despite the fact that Liverpool have been struggling in the league, I think that going to Ajax home and away, they were definitely going to beat them. Their Champions League group was not really that difficult. So, I felt that was another thing that Liverpool took as an advantage. But going to that Napoli game, I know that it's very difficult for them to get the 3 goals difference that they need, even though they are playing in their own stadium, because Napoli are not an easy team to play anyway. Because I think Napoli have about how many clean sheets in that group stage, and they have the most goals, I think, in a group stage. I think in history. So they are definitely not going to go to Anfield and see and feel like they are being oppressed by Liverpool. They'll definitely bring the game to Liverpool. So I think it will be difficult for Liverpool to finish on top of the group.
Oh, okay. So let's move to Tottenham. Tottenham played 1-1. Jesse, come to you again because your former coach Antonio Conte was really pissed after the match because of the VAR and everything. Do you think, first of all, the VAR got it right? And second of all, if you don't think they got it right, how possible do you think it is for VAR to miss an offside?
I didn't watch it. I don't know. But from the little clips I saw, I believe he was offside, even though he touched somebody before he got to Kane. I think that the VAR got it right. And these kind of decisions, especially when it comes to offsides, I think that it's very difficult for the VAR to get it wrong. So I think that Conte was just angry because that was his automatic qualification for the knockout rounds, and now he has to go to the last day. And Tottenham, that are top of the group, funny enough, can finish bottom at the end of or third, I think, yeah, at the end of the last match day. So obviously he'll be frustrated because he had it and then he lost it. But I think that the decision was correct.
GB, what about you? Do you think the decision was correct?
Yes. I think it was correct. Yes. I saw a video explaining some of the rules and why the goal was cancelled. And so one of the rules that was changed this year was if a ball is played and it meets an opposing player before it probably meets the teammates that scored unintentionally, then it can be counted. The player that probably unintentionally touched the ball before the final guy that scored is probably taken out and is not deemed to have affected play in any way, except it probably did it what's the word? Except probably did it intentional, with intent to probably take the ball away from the goal. That. I think that's as a result of there's an incident that happened in Champions League final where Fabio touched his ball and then they ruled out Benzema goal. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's something that is very related to that incident. So that's one of the new rules this year. If it touches the opponent unintentionally, then the opponent is not deemed to have affected it, and then the person that probably played the ball later is offside. And also Emerson Royal, before the ball got to him, was actually deemed offside, even though the argument was he played when he played the ball, Harry Kane was at the back. If you are trying to play a square pass and the guy is at the back of the ball, then it's not offside. But actually, before the ball got to Emerson Royal, it was actually in an offside position, and even though he played it backwards, it's still affected. So I think it's normal for Conte to feel really, really outraged. as a fan, as a Tottenham fan, at that point, you're going to feel outraged. You're going to feel like the world is against you and VR is against you because it's a 9 minutes goal and you would have loved for it to happen. I felt so good that Tottenham felt like that because there's this time I think Sterling scored this 9 minutes goal and I already tore off my shirt and was screaming and shouting only for VR to say like no, he touched someone. And, yeah. So yeah, I mean it's correct, but it's normal for Conte to feel aggrieved. It's absolutely normal.
Okay. Just say at the moment, Tottenham are top of the table and everything. I think they're playing. Is it Marseille next? I think they're playing Marseille next. Do you think it's possible for them to finish top of the group because they're ahead with 1 point?
I think that is possible, but they have to avoid slipping up because if they slip up, they are going to go to Europa League, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of Tottenham just doing what they have to do. Because I think they need just a draw to qualify, I think. So if they're able to do that, I think they'll be fine. But the match will be a difficult match. I think if it's Marseille, yeah, it will be a difficult match. But I think Tottenham will be able to get the job done.
What kind of group is this? All of them I will have the chance to qualify.
Yeah. And if I know Conte would have already explained to them what they need to do. So I think they'll be able to, even though it's to get the draw that they need, they'll be able to do that.
I don't know. I feel Tottenham won't qualify. I just feel like Conte has this not qualify for Champions League vibe in him.
I felt that as well, but you could see how angry he was that he didn't qualify automatically. So I just feel like he gave me motivation that maybe he actually wants to fight in different cup competitions for like with Tottenham. Maybe he feels that he's not in the right place to win the league and stuff like that. So he wants to fight in Champions League. I don't know. But I think that he will to get the job done next week.
Okay, so let's move to, before we move to Barcelona, which is one of the main topics of this show, let's move to Real Madrid. They lost to RB Leipzig 3-2. I think they're still top of the table. Yeah.
Yeah, they're already qualified.
Oh, they've already qualified. Oh, no wonder.
They're top.
But they just need a win again to. They just need a win, yeah, to qualify. Oh, or they need a draw.
Of the group, or what do you mean?
Sorry, they need a draw to finish top.
Yeah.
No, sorry, they didn't they win to finish top because they're on 10 points.
They're fine. I think we shouldn't talk about Real Madrid and the Champions League.
Yeah. But let's just say one thing about the match. Just why do you think Real Madrid lost that match? What do you think went wrong for them?
I just feel like Ancelotti started the match from the beginning with a lineup that he was expecting to contain Leipzig. And unfortunately, they were not able to. He started Nacho at left back. So all these type of things, he just, I don't know. I think he just wanted to rotate the squad and get through that game. Maybe win 1-0 at the 9 minutes by a lucky goal or something. But it did not happen for him. And then when he wanted to correct that change by he brought in Alaba, I think it was already too late. They were already 2-0 down. So it was always going to be difficult for them because they were playing against the Leipzig team that are in form and they're already playing good football. So when he was 2-1 up, he had to chase the game like as all teams would. And then when he tried chasing the game, they fell victim to a counter-attack. And you know Timo Werner, he loves those type of attacks and he was able to finish for them. So I just felt that Ancelotti wanted to rotate the squad and he got it wrong and he paid the price. Well, I think he already knows he has qualified for the knockout and he's not scared. I don't think Real Madrid will be scared to face any team. So I don't think it really matters to him if he finishes first or second. It's just that the fact that he has qualified, that was good enough for him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move to Barcelona. GB, I mean, you've been one of the people that have backed Xavi on this channel, and me, I'll be skeptical about him. But then finally, I think I'll have to drop off the tree and say Xavi's not the right man for Barcelona. But what do you think? What do you think about Xavi and what went wrong for Barcelona on the night?
Yeah, I think Xavi has made a lot of mistakes, especially in the Champions League this season. I think so. I think he has. I don't know. One thing though is about managers is if it works, then he is a genius, and if it doesn't work, then He doesn't know anything. That's how it is. But it's not working. It's like it doesn't look like it's even going to work. Actually, like when you're playing against Bayern, and then you are deciding to press man for man, especially like you have your three, you are leaving like the three, your back line is three, the three back line of Alonso, Kunde, and Bellerin against Choupo-Moting, who is absolutely going to beat Kunde in the air anytime. You have Mane against Alonso, which is like obviously a mismatch. And then you have on the other side, Bellerin against what's the last guy that played for them on the wing that I've forgotten. So like it was obvious, like anytime Bayern beats the press, it was like those three guys running against Barca's three, because Barca left those three guys to take on Bayern's like front three man for man. And it was like if you are going to choose a man for man system, especially at like your rest defense, then you have to be absolutely sure that those three at the back and absolutely like run, good at tackling, beats the other players in the air. It was like shambles, It was like every time, and that's been Barca's story so far in the Champions League. Every time they're playing against a team, they are able to beat Barca's first line of press. It's like Barca always running towards their goal, like shouting and screaming, like please don't score us, please don't score us. Like it screams like, especially if you look at that Inter's game, the 3-3. Every time Inter was counter-attacking Barca, it was looking like a goal was going to happen. Like almost every time, it was like this is danger. Like Lautaro Martinez had an absolutely field day against them. So, I mean, when you're playing in the Champions League against teams that can hurt you, like it's obvious, especially when it comes to Barca, that you are absolutely in big trouble if you don't do what's right. And I would just say I probably feel sorry for Barca too, because the group that they were in was absolutely like hard, like to win. It was basically between themselves and Inter Milan to qualify, because everybody know Bayern is going to absolutely like win from that group, and they didn't do well enough, to be honest. I am going to just remove the ifs, and then I feel pity for him and all of that. But I think it's still in the shout for being okay for Barca, because aside the fact that they probably spent a lot and they're expecting a lot, and the amount of money you get from playing in the Champions League is massive. It dwarfs whatever you're going to get from the Europa League, like massively. And so it's a very, very huge disappointment for Barca not to qualify to the round of 16. But yeah, I mean, they can perform well in the league and give themselves a run for it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel gutted that Barca cannot qualify for the Champions League round of 16. But I mean, this team is not there yet. To me, especially in the Champions League, maybe the league, they can beat some of these guys that are not as good as them. And the league is more about beating these guys are not as good as yourself, because the only big test that you have is Real Madrid. And so it doesn't really matter if you lose to Real Madrid twice in the season and you're still able to beat the rest to win the league. But in the Champions League, you have to face the likes of Bayern and Inter and all of that. So yeah, I mean, it could still be an okay season for them if they get to play very well in the league, but they will be absolutely disappointed that they're unable to enter the round of 16.
The other guy we're talking about was Gnabry.
Wait, let me
okay, yeah, Justin. I was going to continue.
To what is that? Like from the beginning, I think I told you well that Xabi was not going to succeed at Barca. I always said this, because they brought in a man that is learning to come and take over one of the best teams in the world. That can never work. That's the same thing happened to Lampard when he went to go and take over Chelsea. I knew that it was a wrong decision, but as a Chelsea fan, I wanted him to come. At least I think that the fact that he's still learning is what is affecting him. Beginning of the season, I was saying this, that why did he go and like buy Lewandowski? It was okay. Yes, Lewandowski is like one of the best strikers in the world. He is, but they had a solid attack that was scoring them goals. They beat Real Madrid last season 4-0, I think, and that was without Lewandowski. So you went into the season, you have to address the problems that you have in your squad. Apart from your first two centre backs, which are Araujo and Koundé, or like they brought in Koundé. Apart from those two, they have no other like alternatives in all their defensive positions. All the players that play there are all always injured, or they are past their prime completely. PK cannot play centre back anymore for Barca in tough games, because he's past like where he was before. And then all these little errors that he keeps on making in games. During the Bayern game, he decided to make Dembele play on Alfonso Davies' wing. I don't think I felt that was another error that he made because he was never going to bring out Dembele's full creativity on the right because Alfonso was always going to stop him. So it's all these little things that I think are affecting him. So I felt that him having only managed a Saudi Arabia club on his CV, coming all the way to go and manage Barca next, it was never the right step, and now it's affecting him. So I feel bad for Barca, even though I'm not a Barca fan. I feel bad for them because I was reading online that Messi joined Barca in 2004, and in 2003 they played Europa League, and then when Messi now left, they played Europa League throughout. So it's one of those problematic clubs that you can see the problems are coming back. So I feel bad for them, but yeah, I think that Xavi is not really the right man for Barca at the moment.
And he even played Pedri as a winger.
Yeah, I felt wanted to have more presence in midfield.
Yeah.
Marcos
I can still accept the fact that he played Pedri as a midfield.
Maybe the same way when you're trying to copy Valverde or something.
Yeah, no, it's even something that Barca has always done from time. There was a point where Iniesta used to play at the right wing so that I can show up in midfield. Like when they start matches, Iniesta at the right wing, and then he drops deep. So that's still fine.
Marcos are also playing as a centre back.
Yeah, they didn't address their defense. Their defense is really bad. And they had Aubameyang, they had Depay, they had attackers that at least, even though the game is bad, they will still give you goals. Aubameyang is a striker that can give you 20 goals in the season, definitely. But like they were just chasing after, well, I don't know.
I think Lewandowski has proved his worth so far. I don't know.
He has.
I think even in the Champions League, he has about 5 goals, even with Barca being eliminated. I think he really tried.
3 of his goals against Pilsen.
In the game against Inter Milan, I think he really tried. I think he scored about 2 goals. If not, I think 2 goals. Yes, he scored 2 goals in the game against Inter Milan, the 3-3 draw. But he didn't play well, Bayern, home and away. Absolutely nobody even played well in the Barca team anyway. Nobody even played well in the Barca team. But
and as GB said, once they just broke Barca's press,
that's it.
So open.
Like, it looks like
Marcos Alonso that has no defensive work rate. He cannot run back for you. Marcos Alonso had never been that since he was at Chelsea. I was happy that he left. So he went there and then they're not playing him as centre back. That's someone that doesn't like tracking back. Like you can see all these errors. I would have rather played even him. He played PK at centre back because PK was on the bench. I think PK was fit.
Yeah,
but
I think after that PK or show against Inter Milan, it's like so difficult to know. Well, I think Barca has a little bit unlucky, especially with like centre backs, Christensen and Arao, and then Koundé is just coming back. Yeah, I don't know. I think in the league they'll be fine. You'll be fine in the league, but you cannot spend that amount of money because only to get knocked out into the Europa League. You cannot pull that amount of.
And whenever they play like teams that are big, you can see the difference between like how much of a gap there is between these two clubs. Even if you watch them, the Madrid Barca match, there was a difference in class between both of them. So I just think that they are lacking that class that they really need right now.
So you guys don't think we're judging them too early because the project just started, and these players, they just bought them and they have to still gel together.
Okay.
No, GB talk.
Okay, from my end, right? I feel in the Champions League, they've failed woefully, massively, because the basic expectation is get out of that group stage. Even if it's fine, we don't expect you to win the Champions League. Get into the quarterfinals at the very least. Get into the parts where you can, mix with the big clubs and all. If you lose at the quarterfinal, that's fine. You are still the club that is coming up. But you can absolutely not go into the Europa League. That's a no. In the league, right? Barca is going to be second at the worst. I'm pretty sure because Atletico Madrid is way off it. Sevilla way off it. Valencia way off it. Only Real Madrid is the stumbling block, to even winning the league for Barca this season. So
Betis are good. Betis are decent.
Betis are decent, but I think I don't think they're going to give Barca any problems when it comes to fighting for the league. But I mean, Champions League is one of at least to bring back some of those money that they've actually spent, and probably they'll be playing with the likes of Man U very soon too.
But the Europa League is looking interesting this year. So
yeah. Before we go to the Europa League, so Jesse, what about you? Do you think we're judging them so early, and do you think they need time to gel?
well, I think GB has said everything correctly. Yeah. So that's just it.
Like
Okay,
I feel like if you
okay.
want to judge them, like if you judge them by league standards, they are probably going to be fine because Xavi is going to be either the first or second. But
Yeah.
you have to judge them by Champions League because that's one of the things work. But at least get into those quarterfinals, and that part he has failed. Like now, 2 seasons now. So I think you can you can judge them on the fact that you are not doing well in the Champions League, and we don't expect you to go anything less than second in the league anyways.
Exactly.
So
because I think that there are many teams that you'd have put in that same group with Barca and they'd have qualified out. Like at least. Because I think Liverpool were in a difficult group with Inter last year or so. And they
Liverpool smashed everybody in their league.
They beat everybody. They did what they needed to do at every time when they played. But these 2 games against Inter, like they at least they needed to win one.
Could have, yes, exactly. They should have won one. Like
absolutely, won at least
fine.
And both of them they were losing.
Bayern could have beaten Barca anytime, any day. That's fine. That's acceptable. But that's just 6 points. That's just out of 18. So you still have 12. And why? Why can't you like get ahead of Inter? I don't see Inter as that team that should be knocking Barca out.
Inter could have won both games. That's the surprising thing.
Yeah, they could
have defended well because they were leading. It's something minutes. So if Inter defended well, they
could have scored 4-3 even. I think this guy he could have squared paid one ball to Mkhitaryan and it could have been a goal and decided to be stingy with it. So no, it's woeful from Barca.
Okay, so let's move to the big boys league now, Europa League. Arsenal versus PSV. Jesse, you watched the match and then you were making fun of K in the group. What was your opinion on Arsenal? Do you think it was because they did start their main players, or do you think they had enough to beat PSV?
I think that PSV were always going to be a strong team to play against, especially when you're playing them in their house. And they really brought the game to Arsenal. They got, I think it was 2 goals that they cancelled for them before they even scored the remaining 2. And yeah, it was a difficult day for Arsenal in general. They don't play better than PSV, and I think PSV deserved to win the game. You could see even when he brought on the likes of Jesus, Thomas Partey, Saka, PSV were still controlling the game. PSV were still managing themselves, and they could have gotten a lot of goals in that match. This guy, Xavi Simons, you can see like the quality that everyone has been talking about. That guy was really, really good yesterday. He played really well. Gakpo played really well. Everyone played like well as a unit, as a team together. And this is where like we start seeing the problems in Arsenal. Because if their second team were beaten like comprehensively like that against PSV, we can wonder if all these like little injuries happen to Arsenal, what will happen to them. You can see the likes of Jesus and Saka did not play and like they cannot perform on the night. So I just think that we're starting to see the problems that Arsenal might face throughout the season, like going forward. If any injury happens to them, I don't think their second team, or it was not, I won't say it was fully their second team because they some first team players that played, but that sort of lack of the star players in their team, it really affected them during the season.
GB, last time you said you were not confident, you're not scared of Arsenal in the league when it comes to the league title race and everything. But then you explained your point. I know what you meant. Well, from what Jesse is saying, what do you think they have to do to improve at that? Do they go and spend big again in January or?
Right, there is something, right? I think there's something that's actually like when you have a team, there are like some players that you absolutely cannot replace. Like for you to replace some of those guys, you have to spend probably 100 million or more. Like okay, imagine like I was telling Kate the last time we had this YouTube session that Tottenham cannot go to the market to buy a Son replacement or an Harry Kane replacement. It's like it's not possible. Why are you going to get that? I'll give you what Son and Harry Kane is going to, except you want to go and spend probably 150 million or something like that, right? And true, like, and so another aspect of it, if you cannot replace these star players like output wise, at least when they're not playing, let's it be like some guys, even if they cannot give back like exact output, they can at least play as a unit and make the team, even if not as good as what those guys will offer, but as a unit, produce something that like can offer similar quality in terms of levels. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think this is very right. I think there is still some aspects to which Arsenal is not like at that level of winning the league yet, like I said. But yeah, I think it's something that Liverpool has done over the past 3 to 4 years, by which they probably wouldn't have that much of a great second team, but they're able to keep that first team and that unit like playing together and together and together. I think Liverpool did it for like a period of like 2 to 3 years where those set of 11 players almost like played so many matches together, especially like Salah, Firmino, and Mane at some point, and then Anderson in which and they are playing, and Robertson and Arnold, So if Arsenal is able to replicate something like that, able to get those 11 players playing like consistently, like, and that has to, like, there has to be like some element of luck. You have to be lucky with injuries, because we saw the season where Liverpool suddenly were riddled with injuries, how terrible it was for them that season. So like there is this balance between how can you give us that you're 11, like playing all the time, and then you're able to like, okay, fine, with this team, I can go out there. But as a team that as a normal top six club, you cannot expect that you will be absolutely lucky with injuries and maybe you can escape. So there's absolutely like, I've said absolutely like 100 times today. There's according to what Jason said, I think it's very, very true. At some point, you have to consider the fact that when these guys are out, even though I cannot replace them output for output, I should be able to find some guys that can plug in. That's the word, plug in, and then push me till these guys are back. So I think in the January transfer window, they'll probably buy one player or two, but I don't know. I think this is right still. That's my point. It's right.
So, a curious question. Anybody can answer this. I know everybody's going to say United are just still in the process and everything. Chelsea are still in the process. Do you think Arsenal has a better squad than Chelsea and Arsenal and United? Anyone who wants to answer that?
I don't think so. I think that if you're adding both your first team quality and then the quality of the bench, I think that Chelsea squad is still, and United squad are still, I think, a little bit above Arsenal squad. Because I think if you look at their first team, it's just their first team. I can't mention anybody that if somebody in their front line gets injured, I can slot in that person and then he will give me similar output. If you remove Martinelli from that left wing, I don't know anyone that can go into that left wing and then still give you what Martinelli is similar to what Martinelli is giving you. Like, so I just think that that's just the problem that they have. And the difference is that when you look at United squad, if the left wing is having a problem, they can either put on Sancho, remove Sancho, put on Rashford, remove Rashford, put on Elanga on either left or right, those kind of things. And the striker, you can still put on Martial when he's fit. You can still put Rashford as strike. Yeah, so I think even when you look at other positions in the field, their midfield, you can still rotate. Even though they will not give you as much quality as you would like, but you can still rotate them enough to give you like sort of an output. But you cannot do that for Arsenal squad. So I just think their squad is still a little bit behind those two squads.
Yeah. I would agree with Chelsea. I think Arsenal squad is a little bit behind Chelsea, but I would say it's like in two ways, right? In terms of like names on paper, like quality of these players on paper, I think Man U is like one of the strongest in the league, because like the kind of names that they have in our squad, I think they're one of the strongest. Imagine you have a Varane, you have a Casemiro, you have a Ronaldo, you have a Bruno Fernandes, you have Eriksen. So, like in terms of names on paper, I would say yes, Man U squad is like even the strongest. But in terms of when you replace these guys, right, with like when you bring in these guys, like who actually like probably gives better output and performances, like in the past, let me say 2 seasons, I'll put Chelsea first, and I'll put Arsenal next, and Man U next, Man U third, because with Chelsea, I think with Chelsea still has like this bench guys. Like in fact, if you dip it, like look at it really deeply this season, Kante has not really played a pivotal role, and we know how much Kante can improve any side absolutely in the league. And then Mendy as a goalkeeper is world class, and he has to like take his turn because Kepa is performing better right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Chelsea has Fofana on the bench. I'm sorry, he's currently injured. If that's right, he has Fofana. They have Rhys James. They have Chilwell and Cucurella. They have Kovacic in the midfield. They have Giorgio. So I mean, by the times of both names on paper and the ability of these guys to like perform from the last 2 seasons, I'll put Chelsea first. Then I'll put Arsenal next because I think with the first squad and some of these guys are on the bench because I think Arsenal still has like, Smith Rowe is a player that we've suddenly come to forget, I think because of his injury troubles this season, but he's actually a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Judging from what I saw from him last season towards the ending and how important it was. And then Iketi, as funny as it sounds, he has this ability to like, even if he doesn't play against the big games, but some of these small games, he comes in and then he scores 2 goals or 3 goals, stuff like that. Man U, in terms of squad name, I think they are better than us now. Probably even shoulder to shoulder with Chelsea. But in terms of this player's quality, all respect to Man U, I think I'll put Chelsea first, Arsenal next, and Man U third. But player names, and you know what I mean by player names.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move quickly. I just want to have you guys' opinion because I know everybody has been talking about this. Yesterday's United won 3-0, which was a very good performance, but it's against Sheriff, so there's not really much to celebrate about it. But then Anthony did his spinning skills, and we've seen Scholes, we've seen the media attack him and everything, and he even kept talking on IG saying he's going to continue to do what got him here in the first place, and he's not going to listen to the noise. Jesse, what's your opinion on the fidget spinning, and do you think the media is right to attack him?
Well, they are right in my opinion. It's me personally. I hate unnecessary skills on the pitch, especially when we're not even leading.
Yeah.
So he did the skill. It's a pointless skill. First of all, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But 2, we're not leading. We're not beating this team. We're drawing against a team that we're meant to be beating if we want to qualify and top the group. Number 3, after he now did the skill, the pass was off. It was a horrible pass. So I was watching a video, and then there was this guy that said that if this was Pep and he was on the same wing with Foden, this guy will eat bench. If he was starting that wing, he will eat bench for 3 games.
Wait. Can I give him a little bit of an explanation? When he did the 360, I think he created space for Casemiro to run into because
I don't
he
think
did it
anybody
twice.
was marking him when he did the 360.
No,
he did it
twice.
Yeah, but like that was when Casemiro figured out, oh yes, if I make this run, this guy could find me. And if you had found Casemiro, everybody would be like,
if the thing is that if he trapped the ball like a normal person
Yeah.
and he started looking up, people would definitely make runs.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he did the skill. He did the skill, and then he passed it out. I think that's why they subbed him off halftime. Personally, I think that's why they subbed him off. Because for me, I feel that Ten Hag is somebody that is a perfectionist. He doesn't like when you do this kind of rubbish. The same way Thomas Tuchel does. I think like top managers like Tuchel, the likes of Tuchel, Pep, they will sub you off. It's like even Mourinho will sub you off. He doesn't like that type of rubbish, especially when we're not leading, we're drawing the game, a game we're meant to be winning, the game that we'll be missing a lot of chances, a game that we're frustrated with the attack, and then you do that. So I just think that, and if every other player decides to start doing their own, it will just become a circus on the field. As if we're all clowns. They just like having fun in the football field. So I'm not a fan of it, 100 like at all. I think that if it was my player, I think he's going to get benched for the next match, just to like put into your head that if you're going to do this, it's like you're going to time waste, or after you do it, you're going to score a goal or assist. That's the only condition. But if you do that and you make a horrible pass the way he did, you are meant to enter the bench for like 3 games or so.
GB, what was your opinion?
I think like this thing is actually like, perspective wise, I think so. To me, right, I feel if you do it, then you absolutely must do something sensible after it.
Yes.
You cannot keep the whole probably 30 something or 40 something thousand looking at you as you are rolling with the ball, and then you decide to pass the ball away. Like, God, what? But at that point that you did it, it's fine. It's exciting. Like, oh yeah, good. I mean, for Anthony, right? Like, so far this season, I think when Ten Hag was asked in the press conference, he said for him personally, he doesn't see anything bad with him doing it. But like, it's still at this point, at the point that Ten Hag is still doing it, he was expecting more, make runs into the channels, give more passes. Those are like the things he was expecting Anthony to be showing on the pitch at that moment. Like, where are your runs? Where are your passes to the byline, to inside the pitch? Stuff like that. Why are you turning like you're sitting on the Babacha, and then why are you giving that kind of pass after? Like, if you want to turn, fine, but please just do something. Even if you return it back to the person beside you,
the person that gave you, fine.
The ball.
Fine. Let the crowd is riled up, fine, but don't make it. And I saw somebody comparing it to like this skill that Ronaldo was doing against Arsenal some years back when he was at United the other time. And I was like, United were leading. Was it Arsenal? I can't remember but Ronaldo was doing skills at the corner flag. I think it's a very popular clip.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, that particular clip, United were leading. And not only were United leading, when Ronaldo did the skill, he collected the foul. So at least he did something after he did it. He not just do it pointlessly. Yeah. So it's one of those situations.
Yeah, I'm fine for some of these showboating skills and all. I mean, it shows the Brazilian in them. That's something you can't see from Fred. So like, like there is a space for it, but please just make it make sense.
Oh, before we move to the Premier League, GB, how impressed were you with Garnacho yesterday?
I didn't watch the match.
Don't answer that question.
I didn't watch the match, so I don't know. I think you personally, yeah, his biggest fan, and I don't say anything special in him because I've not seen him play. So I don't say anything special because I've not seen him. I said I've given the reason. I have not seen him play.
I watched the match. The guy was just there.
and even if he plays and is special in the youths in the order something, I mean, that's fine. That's good. But before I can scream your name the way you are screaming his name, you probably would have done it. I think when Rashford burst into the scene, I was a big fan because you came into the scene, you've scored against Liverpool and Arsenal in like your first 3 matches. That's good.
Rashford also electric.
Yeah, I love you.
It's so funny how United fans mostly did not really know Rashford when he came onto the scene. Like the way we know who I put now. Like the way we know Garnacho, we know Iqbal. Like when Rashford came to the city, we're not the main man in.
We don't know these guys.
What is Ghana? I don't know who are these.
We don't know these guys.
No, like I'm trying to say.
Iqbal, who's that?
Iqbal. Who's that? He's an Igbo boy.
I mean, Rashford was never the main. Emmanuel said, honestly, I liked it. I don't understand the outrage. He's talking about the fidget spinning on.
Oh, okay. Like I said, it's a perspective thing. Some people.
It's a perspective thing. Me personally, I hate showboating, especially when you're in a real match and we're not leading.
Yeah.
I feel you can showboat for all you want, but please.
I feel like I feel like
make it make sense.
Especially if you're not taking on a player. If everyone decides to start collecting the ball and doing their own skills, doing showboating, doing this thing, we'll just start looking like clowns on the pitch. And I don't like it.
Okay, so tomorrow. Okay.
Imagine if like he passed back to Casemiro and then Casemiro started doing his own turning too. And then he passed to Garnacho. Garnacho started doing his own turning too. He passed this space, started doing his own turning too. He's become like so.
But I mean, you're good. You guys. I mean, Jesse, you're good to try to do it too once in training.
Next question. Move on.
You know, like there are some players that you just have that feeling like they can do anything like that. Someone like Neymar, at any point you can expect Neymar to do something as crazy, even more crazy than that.
But you definitely know that if Neymar is doing a skill,
he's probably going to make. Yeah, he's actually beating a player, or you're making the right pass. Even if your pass is not turning your pass is not tearing up the defense. He wants to do it, and there's no space. Just space back and return the ball. I've done my rubbish, please.
And that's why, I commend. That's one thing at least I like Vini for. Even though Vini is going to do rubbish, he's always trying to take on a player. Even though he's trying to do his own skills, he's always trying to take on a player, trying to go forward and trying to move the ball. So it's one of those situations.
That's the same thing my guy did for Don't worry. Um,
Yeah, it's
let's
okay.
move. Let's move to
Balami.
no, let's move to the Premier League. Let's move to the Premier League. Man City, Leicester versus Man City at King Power Stadium. Haaland is injured.
He's not injured.
For what I'm hearing, but then Pep said he was injured after Dortmund. That's why he moved him.
Pep said he's going to know if he's going to play in the training session after the press conference.
Is he
So
playing
it's-
or not?
But is
His
he playing
hands
or not?
folded. His hands folded.
Is he playing
So
or
we-
not?
Don't triple captain him. I have a feeling like he's going to play. I have a feeling he's going to play. He's going to play, but he's going to not complete 90 minutes. I have that feeling he's going to play, but he's not going to complete 90
And
minutes.
you still scored 3 goals now, so
And if I don't know if Man City were playing at home, I'm absolutely sure that Haaland is going to score. But our away form has been
So Jesse, now you're leaving my train.
what
Hmm?
train?
The Hurricanes train. You're going to Haaland now.
no, I just want you to score for my FPL.
Have you ever been on the Hurricane train?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I'm a Hurricane fan.
No wonder your train has been crashing.
No, but you still see at the end of the season now. We'll still see ourselves.
That what? If they add up Tony and Kane go, you no go reach.
I remember that King was missing goalie booth by 7 goals in 2016, and he scored 7 goals in 2 matches.
It's not. I mean, it's not Haaland.
Exactly.
It's Haaland that is at his front.
He
then-
scored 7 goals in
That's
2
what-
matches.
that's
It's
what I-
Haaland that is at
Seven
his
goals.
front. Why are you guys forgetting that it's Haaland that is at his front?
But then let's talk about the match then. Leicester versus Man City. GB, how are you feeling about the match? And
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me this match 4 games into the season, I'll be smiling like we are absolutely going to trash Leicester. But in recent games, Leicester form has like looked like it's looking like their form is actually on the upturn. I think in the past five games, I think they've lost probably just once. I think they've won like 3. So it's like the Leicester we are getting to see now is looking different from the Leicester we saw at the beginning of the season. Like there is this sense of confidence that is coming back to the players. I think you absolutely need to see Telemann's goal, like the last match that they played. That's like absolutely world class. I don't know if you guys saw Telemann's goal in the last match. Did anybody's oh god, you like that goal is out of this world.
You only pick people you want to score against.
and like this is like part of the stuff that you see when a team is gradually growing in confidence. Some of these players want to try to shoot outside from the box more. They're more confident in taking their shots. And Avi Barnes is one of these players like probably gets disturbed with injuries. But whenever he comes, there is this sort of goal that Avi Barnes scores, drives in from the right wing, bends and far corner. And Madison has been totally integral to Leicester so far this season. So it's going to be more tricky than it could have been at any point before now. So yeah, but still, I would still back Man City to win because I feel like there are still some problems with that Leicester defense that I feel we can exploit. So yeah.
wait, sorry, I was going to ask. Man City, do you guys have good record against Leicester? Because I think
sort of. I would say sort of. I think the last time we lost against Leicester badly was this 6-3 defeat where Badly scored about 2 penalties and got an hat-trick. I think that was like the first day of the season. That was like 2 or 3 seasons ago. So that was like okay. Oh, I think there was this time the beat was like 5-2 or something too. So yeah, I think last season we played 6-3 against them. We're winning them like 4-1 or 5-1 in the first half. And then suddenly they started scoring, getting to the end, and then second half had to like score. Yeah, I think it was a very, very high scoring match. That was last season. So we always have this vulnerability of constantly goes to Leicester because they play in such a way that if you're able to catch Man City on like, I think that's just like the handbook of team in the Premier League. Catch Man City on the counter if you can, and then you are going to see chances to score. Then it's left to you to score or not. So it's going to be tricky, but I still back Man City.
Okay, Jesse.
Yeah.
Do you see any problem Leicester could cause Man City tomorrow?
To be honest, no. I don't think they have improved here, but I don't think they've improved as much to trouble the champions tomorrow. So I think
the champions.
Oh, don't let that enter you. They are losing the championship. But yeah, they are our current champions, defending champions. So I don't
Double.
think that they'll be able to. I don't think
Back
they'll
to
be able
back.
to
Ah,
give Man City that type of tough game. I think they'll try their best, but Man City will be too much for them.
okay, so your score predictions. Just to start first.
I'm going to go 4-1 Man City.
GB.
3-0. If Alan plays, 4-0. I'm giving Alan one extra goal.
Why am I the only one seeing a close win for City 2-1?
That's how we are always seeing it every week, and we are always seeing rubbish.
No, but like Leicester always challenge Man City.
Of course. Yeah. But I think we're going to win.
Okay, Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Tottenham has lost their last 2 games against United and Newcastle, and this is for them to bounce back. They're playing against Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium. Jesse, what do you think Tottenham can bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they'll be able to motivate themselves enough to get through that match. And by the way they lost their Champions League, I'm sure they'll be frustrated. So they want to put on a nice performance for their fans to watch. So I think they'll be able to beat Bournemouth, even though Bournemouth have improved their form since they sacked their manager, Scott Parker. I think they've improved, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Tottenham tomorrow. So I think Tottenham will have enough to win the game, even though I don't think it will be a huge scoreline. I just think that they'll have enough to win the game tomorrow.
GB, what about you?
Yeah, I think I stick very closely to what Jesus said. I in the last 11 meetings between Bournemouth and Tottenham, Bournemouth has 1 win, 2 draws, and 8 losses. So that's that's quite obvious that Tottenham has been the stronger side about how many percent, 70-something% of the number of times they've met. I mean, if you met with someone 11 times and he has beaten you 8 times, that's enough proof that this person actually played well against you. So yeah, I back Tottenham too. Yeah, I think I back Tottenham.
Emmanuel said during 1 City to beat Leicester.
I will go with that too. I think we're not going to have a clean sheet.
So
Don't change my auto. You say funny.
what's your score prediction, Jesse?
I want to go 2-0 Tottenham. I think they'll score 1 early, and then Bournemouth to try to chase the game, and then they'll score later.
JB, what about you?
4-0. I think Son is going to play. I think Son is going to. I think when Son sparks up, then there is goal. Like there are goals for Tottenham. Like I think that's what I absolutely stand by. So Son is going to score tomorrow.
I swear.
Then shame to my face.
Okay, so Amex Stadium. Potter is going back to Amex Stadium against Brighton. Jesse, how confident are you going into that match?
No disrespect to United, but I think that this will be the toughest challenge that Potter will face in the Premier League, especially the fact that he just finished managing them, so they know what type of ball that he used to play. And I think Bournemouth Brighton are 4th. They were 4th in the table.
No,
like last week. I'm not sure what position they are now because they lost.
They're 9th now.
They're 9th.
Yeah.
Wow. I know that they were 4th for a while back. Well, definitely they played one of the best football in the league. I'll say among the top 10. So
they're right.
But they'll be able to give Chelsea a tough game.
Jesse, why is that you never give me your credit?
Who?
Me. I told you that. I told you Potter was a good manager when he was in Brighton. You're like, this guy's not good. This guy's not good enough. And I think they play the best football. I
said top 10. Top 10. But I don't think they'll still be good enough to beat us.
GB.
I don't see them having the quality to score. And I know this might come back and bite me in the ass, but I don't think Welbeck can score against us again. Not possible.
GB, Brighton's problem has always been to finish their chances and everything. But they play one of the best footballers in the league. How do you think they can improve on that? And what do you think is the problem?
First of all, I don't see Chelsea winning tomorrow. First of all, I think it's going to be Brighton win or draw. Yes. I don't see Chelsea winning tomorrow. And second of all, I think when it comes to Brighton, like that like this is like one of the issues. Like this is what makes a big club a big club. The fact that you have a missing piece, and then your missing piece is a goal scorer, and then you plunge into the market and you spend 60 million like Newcastle did to buy Isak, or you spend the way Man City did to buy Haaland, or Liverpool did to buy Nunes. That's one of the big disparities, Like it's so hard for Brighton
Or
to
Chelsea with Aubameyang.
yeah, I would say Aubameyang because in terms of wages, Chelsea is actually going to spend high, like way high. So it's in one way or the other. If you don't get to pay much for him, you have to pay like high to keep him. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Brighton cannot afford. I'm sure Aubameyang wages would probably be like four to five Brighton players wages joined together. But what I'm just trying to say is, when it comes to this small things, like sometimes when it's quite obvious to the whole world, like you guys just need like this consistent Premier League goal scorer. I'll probably give you like a 15-20 goal like in a season, and you'll probably be like in the shouts for Europa League. But it's hard for you to just like go to the market and you want to buy a striker that's going to give you 20 goals in the Premier League without spending much.
Yeah, but like they got a lot of money this.
I don't think they spent much in the previous.
I mean they got a lot of money. That's what I mean.
Yeah, they got a lot of money, but sometimes like transfer fees are so weird. Like it doesn't mean like the fact that you got it from transfers mean you can spend it on transfers. Sometimes like so many things involved, and then you have to like put the money into several aspects. Can you a club? There's Brighton actually runs so well on their data aspect of using data to buy players. Like they actually try to buy some of these players when they are unknown, and then when they get to be good, and then they can sell off for profits, And I think with Welbeck, there's like a compromise. He plays well, contributes well to the team, but he's not there to finish the chances. Like he's not there to finish. You hardly find him in the box when it comes to the time to finish the chances. One of their best goal scorers this season has been Trossard, to be honest. Trossard and I think Gross. And Gross, yes, and the McAllister from penalties and set pieces. So it's obvious like we don't have this goal scorer in the team, and for you to get such a goal scorer, I'm sorry, you have to spend. Like it's just so obvious now in the transfer market. You want a goal scorer, bring your money. You have to spend. If you don't spend in transfer fees, you're going to spend in wages, like Newcastle did for Isak, and Isak has even been injured. So like I think with Brighton, they are in this very, very good style of play. They replaced Potter with a manager that I absolutely think is the best for the role. Like watching them play has been absolutely fantastic. They've been unlucky in some games. I think against Liverpool, they were unlucky to just get a draw. Against Tottenham, they were unlucky not to even score at all. Against Man City, they scored 2-1. And to be honest, they faced the teams I've counted now in this guy's first few games. I've counted Liverpool, I've counted Tottenham, I've counted Man City. And he has actually played well against them. Now they're playing Chelsea tomorrow. So I think when it comes to facing, and they will beat you. When it comes to facing teams of an equal level, I think they're absolutely going to be fine. So I think the start of the season is going to start. Roberto De Zerbi's Brighton is going to start against Chelsea.
So what's your score prediction, GB?
2-1. Brighton win.
Jesse.
I was go 2-0 Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move. We're moving on to Anfield, Liverpool versus Leeds. I think this is the type of opponents Liverpool likes facing.
Don't worry.
People who attack, and so what do you think about it?
I think this could be a bloodbath for Leeds. Like it's I think if Leeds, I think it's two ways. If Leeds go pressing, pressing the way they did against Chelsea, they got that 3-0 win. If they go pressing, they get their chances, they convert those chances, life could be difficult for Liverpool. But if they make the mistake of pressing and did not do it right, and they're playing against Liverpool at Anfield, I don't know. It could be terrible.
Okay.
I think we can remember Bournemouth against Liverpool early this season,
Yeah.
where Bournemouth went running out and screaming, yeah, and God, 9-0. So,
Jesse, what's your opinion on the match?
I think that GB has said the right thing.
Yeah.
I just feel that if players that can control the ball in the midfield, I think the way they beat Chelsea majorly was in our midfield. Our midfield was very, very poor against them. So when they were pressing our midfield were not press resistant. I think it was Jorginho and Gallagher, I can't remember who started. So they were able to press those midfielders and get the ball from them because they were panicking a lot. But when you are playing against the midfield like Liverpool's midfield that can be calm on the ball, the likes of Fabinho, Thiago, those kind of players, and Henderson, they were able to beat that press easily. So I just think that playing the way they always play, they are going to suffer against Liverpool and to be a very high scoring match.
So,
Despite the fact that Salah is like looking for goals right now. He has started scoring in the Champions League, but he wants to start getting more goals in the league. You could see Arnold played well against Ajax, so you want to prove himself again to show that he's still in contention for the England squad and he's still one of the best right backs in the world. So I just think that they were able to put on a show against Leeds, especially playing at Anfield. So they were able to break that press easily and score a lot of goals against Leeds.
okay, so your score prediction.
I'm going to go for 4-0 Liverpool.
GB.
yeah, funny. I'm just thinking if I should buy Salah in my fantasy before it's too late.
I'm going
to captain him now. That's why you're saying Alan is might not play.
I'm going 4-3 Liverpool.
Oh, I think this is the beginning of the season, like last time. I don't think Leeds have that quality.
Leeds don't have that juice.
Yeah. If you notice, when they even beat Chelsea after that match, they I don't think they even beat anybody again.
They've not played well since that match.
Yeah, they don't beat anybody, any quality team again. So they would go there, they would try and press, and Liverpool will be able to break that.
I feel like if they press and they don't get it right at Anfield, oh God.
Okay. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Is this a straight win for Arsenal?
Yes, for me.
Personally, I think that this is a real test because this can be another banana peel that you can sleep on. Because if you watch that game against us now, Nottingham Forest, they defended so well and they were able to break properly with the pace that they have and the quality of the likes of players like Jesse Lingard and them. So I just feel like if Arsenal are not careful, because Arsenal now they want to prove that they still have that source to play in like top football, because they've dropped points in 2 games now back to back. So they want to play Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest now, I think they are starting to find their feet, like playing in a low block system with likes of players like Kouyaté that can play the defensive side and then give you some kind of attacking like prowess. So I just think that if Arsenal are not careful, they can lose that game tomorrow or when they play.
Yeah.
So
Sunday, yeah.
Difficult match for me.
GB, what about you?
Yeah, I think I back Arsenal to win. I think Arsenal playing at home. I think Nottingham Forest will, as we all know, we try to sit deep and soak up pressure.
I mean, and like the confidence is there from beating Liverpool.
Yeah, the confidence is there from beating Liverpool. But I think stats-wise, Arsenal has been the team that has scored like most goals in the first 15 minutes so far this season. Like Arsenal tend to score very early, like very, very early in most of their matches. Most of these matches, when they score very early, I think they've actually probably not lost to anyone in which they scored early. Maybe against who has Arsenal lost to this season?
United,
and I don't think they scored first. Did they score first?
No.
They didn't score first. So I think most of the matches where Arsenal has been able to exert that pressure early and then get that early goal, they've been able to once Arsenal scored you early, you are playing in Emirates. Arsenal are obviously going to have possession. Then they are more patient. They make better decisions. They don't have to force things. So I think if that aspect of Arsenal's game, scoring early and trying to break down the team, the other team quickly, if that actually comes to play, I think Arsenal are going to be comfortable winners. But still, Nottingham Forest are dangerous on the break. They're dangerous on the break. And I think Arsenal is in a better place than Liverpool this season so far in the league. So I'll still back Arsenal.
Okay, so score predictions. Jesse.
I want to go 1-1.
GB, what about you?
I want to go to
1-1. Okay, so let's move to Manchester United versus West Ham. Jesus, I'm so scared of this match. I don't know why. GB, what do you think about this match?
I think it could be tough. I think it could be tough. I think last match Man United played. Who did you play last?
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yes, Chelsea. I think judging by what I've seen from United in the last two matches, I've seen some improvements in the terms of pressing, in the terms of creating shots, creating chances and trying to convert those chances into goals. I think I've been a little bit impressed by what I've seen from United in the last two games. But they played against two big teams, aside the fact that probably Tottenham is like a little bit like less willing to give you space and press high. But with West Ham are usually very compact. We all know West Ham, very compact, sit deep, try to take their chances on the break, try to make the best use of their set pieces. And And I think with the fact that Varane is out, I think that could be something that West Ham would want to capitalize on.
Harry Maguire.
They have best defender in the world now, Maguire. Maguire is playing.
Especially in terms of set pieces, like when you have Zuma and you have these guys, one or two of these guys, and Antonio, yes, and this Suchek guy.
Suchek.
Yeah, Suchek, yeah.
And when you're able to capitalize with your set pieces from this position, I think they could really make the match tricky for West Ham. That being said, Maya are my favorite to me.
Jesse.
I think GB has said it. It can be it has the potential to be a very difficult game for United. But I think that United are playing really well at the moment, so it will be a very interesting game to watch. But,
it will be interesting.
Well, I've not seen really much attacking prowess from West Ham this season. They have not looked as if they have been hurting teams like that. They just look very passive this season. I think I watched that Liverpool game, like the highlights, the extended highlights, and they were not really that attacking against Liverpool. So I don't think they will give United's defense as much like trouble as they normally give United's defense. So I just think it will be left for United to be able to break down West Ham and score against them because their defending is kind of good.
Okay. So score predictions for this match, GB.
1-0, Man U.
I'm Jesse.
I think I'm going to back GB there. I'll say 1-0, Man U. I think they'll be able to score. And
how you guys?
Ronaldo will score.
How you guys are so
Ronaldo won't start.
How you guys are so confident?
I think Ronaldo will start. I think Ronaldo can start against West Ham because the fact that West Ham are not going to come out pressing you deep. So I think Ronaldo is
I think Anthony will not start.
I think Anthony will start.
No, I think Anthony will start. How you guys are so confident to not skip clean sheets? Wow.
Because Luke Shaw
I don't just think West Ham are that. They're not that guy. They're not those guys this season that will press you and score against you. Like all these goals. I think
you just have to be careful. Set pieces.
Those set pieces are what can cost you. But they are not like the likes of Fulham this season that can score goals from out of anything. They are not like those guys this season. So I just think that they'll try to hold you in your midfield because they will feel that their midfield is stronger than your midfield. So it's left to see if they're not going to play a single pivot with Casemiro, or maybe you add somebody like Fred or McTominay to assist him in the midfield. So I think the battle will be mainly in the midfield. I don't think West Ham's attack is going to be that good or potent to attack United.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the show. But before we move to the end of the show, Sevilla, Villarreal, and Aston Villa. Henry is now in Aston Villa. He has taken all the Villa cards. Is this a good signing for Aston Villa as they play Newcastle? And okay, so GB, you talk about Newcastle. They have been the dark horse of the Premier League. And Jesse, tell us of your opinion. Do you think Aston Villa has made the right decision signing in Henry?
I don't think so. I just think that it was obvious what the guy was about when he came to the Premier League last time. He came with a team that were good. He came with a team that were decent. He just needed to build in with the team. So I'm taking over this Aston Villa dressing room that they've been really passive this season. They've not really attacked, they've not really defended well. They've just been there. I watched the highlight of the Chelsea game against, and you could see all those little errors. You could see that was a team that was lacking confidence. They were just like defensively they were poor. So I don't think Emery can come, especially halfway through the season, and then lift that team to challenge anything this season. Or I think they'll be struggling at the bottom.
Okay. GB.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign to me. I think from the Arsenal perspective, yes, he didn't really do well at Arsenal, but he's actually been a sort of manager that finds it very much comfortable at all these teams are probably not like the top echelons. Like those teams are like mid table sort of. I think from his days at Valencia, he really tried trying to it was like that third team. The way we have Atletico Madrid now, it was like that third team behind Real Madrid and Barcelona. And then before he moved to Sevilla, and then with Sevilla, I think he massively outperformed. I think he outperformed, winning 3 Europa Leagues in a row. I think that's a huge overperformance. And I think he had like a bigger overperformance with like Villarreal, getting them to win the Europa League and getting them to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Like that's massive. I don't think he might be able to replicate such massive success at the European stage with Aston Villa anyway. But I think it could actually make them a better side, especially if the board owners are absolutely ready to trust him with the team and then back him absolutely. If he has that backing, not this season. I don't think he's expected to come to this season and take them from where they are to top 7 or top 8. I don't think so. I think a decent finish for him will probably finishing in the top 10 comfortably. Mm-hmm. I think that's I said that with Aston Villa at the beginning of the season. I think a top 10 finishes decent. Mm-hmm. And then from next season, probably gets himself into that 7th, 8th, 6th position. And then talking about Newcastle, they've been fantastic. I mean, they've been fantastic. I mean, yeah, that's just the word. They've been fantastic. So they've been very good. I back Newcastle to beat Aston Villa tomorrow. I don't care if Emery is the one there or wherever it is. But with Aston Villa still, I think there is some quality in that team. Obvious from the 4-0 win they had the last week. There's some quality in that team. There's actually some quality in that team. And if there is anybody that could sew these pieces together and make them a well-drilled team, like a well-coached team, away from the individual qualities and into the coach like drill. I don't know the word again. Help me. Into the team aspects. I think Emery is one of the best managers we have on the market right now that would want to come to Aston Villa and make a difference. I don't think
they're better off signing Xavi.
Okay. 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 So we've come to the end of this show. GB and Jesse, thank you very much for coming again. GB, any sign off?
Yeah. I think my match of the weekend would be. I don't want to say Brighton Chelsea because Chelsea plays one sort of boring football. I don't know, like that football is just somehow boring to me. To be honest, I'm not hating on Chelsea though. But like, have you watched the Chelsea game in recent times and you've been entertained? I swear to God,
yes, I was entertained before yesterday.
Why would you be entertained before yesterday when you are playing against Salzburg?
Do you like Salzburg beat your team? Do you know that?
I talk to me.
I think he's talking to Moyo.
No, I'm talking to this city boy here. Salzburg would discipline your team.
I will leave you. I think for me, I think my game of the week in terms of goals would be Liverpool Leeds, and in terms of overall like entertainment will be Brighton Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea don't come out dull like they used to.
Jesse, what about you? Much of the week, can you sign off?
All I can say is that I shall know that Chelsea win. Even if it's 0-0. If it's 0-0, we'll still win. That I know.
You're not going with 3 points in that match. You're not going with 3 points. I can assure you.
And my match of the week, I think I would like to see the United match because I want to see my boy start. I want to see Ronaldo to start.
Garnacho.
I want to see him
Oh,
score.
okay.
No, the Garnacho. Who is Garnacho? Because I personally thought he had a good game against Sheriff. Even though it's Sheriff, but you can see the same thing that Messi played my Habibi or what's the name? Maccabi Haifa. And he scored. He had 2 goals to assist. So it's very similar. These are the Sheriff that beat Real Madrid. So I think United did a good job beating them home anyway. And he played really well. So I think that's the match I would like to see.
Okay, so the sign off.
I just want to tell everyone that let's continue to like, share, and subscribe. And to all the Chelsea fans, I don't know what GB is talking about, but football is going to be interesting this weekend for Chelsea fans.
Okay, so you've heard it here. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Please don't forget to turn on your notification for new videos, and shout out to Emmanuel for always coming here to watch and giving his comments. And please, you can always join it too to give it. Thank you very much and goodbye. Alpha.